board and running for re-election.
So what are you doing here exactly?
What am I doing here?
Yes.
Having a really good opportunity to talk with, I think, energized, interested young voters. I hope to pick up a few voters, but even if I don't, I think it's a successful evening in that people get to ask good questions. Because I teach over at Jury, so I have the luxury of working with really bright college students, and I always feel energized. Occasionally we'll hear that people, the world's going to heck in a handbasket and all of that. But not so much. When I'm over here listening to the questions people ask, it's terrific.
So what do you teach over at Jury?
I teach in the communication department, and I also teach both history and philosophy courses.
Do you think you can really bring that into our politics here?
I like to think so. In my first term on the school board, I've had an opportunity, I think, to help shape some of the directions we've gone in terms of how we communicate with the public. And I think we've made some strides there. We still have work to do. We always will. And also, I'm married to a teacher at a high-poverty Springfield school. And one of the things I think I brought to the table and will bring if I'm reelected is an awareness that the internal audience is really important. Right? Because the real work of the district is not done by the superintendent. Or people who report directly to him. The real work of the district is done in classrooms, right? In 51 classroom buildings around the district by roughly 2,100 teachers, roughly 2,000 staff members, etc. And I think the message of what the district is trying to accomplish is not communicated as effectively to them, or they don't perceive that the people making the decisions are listening as carefully as they might. So I think I bring that perspective of being a communication person in this kind of structure out the district.
And so are you for Proposition S or against?
I am strongly supportive.
Why is that?
Well, I think there are a number of reasons. One is the safety issue, and it's not the biggest chunk financially of the bond issue, but my wife teaches at one of the 31 schools that doesn't have a secure entrance. I think I would say the same thing even if she did teach in a school that had a secure entrance. But in 2019, it's just not acceptable for anybody, my friend, my spouse, my kid, my grandkid, my enemy for that matter, is in a school that's not secure. That's just not acceptable.
We need to protect our kids that are learning.
No matter who they are, right? And then also, I think in Springfield, I've lived here for 22 years, and we happen to live on the south side, but my wife teaches in a north side school, a high-poverty school. And there are inequities in our district. We could prefer that there weren't, but there are. If folks from Springfield know that sort of mythic north side, south side division, and all of the major construction projects, apart from the safety, the secure entrances, all of the construction in Proposition S is north of Sunshine. Right? So we're at least making an attempt to deal with the inequitable facilities we have in this community.
So we're just really trying to raise up the poverty-stricken school districts.
Yeah, to a certain degree, and I think in some ways I would view it as sort of a down payment on an equity debt. Right? They're not all poverty-stricken, although many students. I mean, it's a higher poverty level in most of our side schools in the South, but the facilities themselves suggest that they're not as important, right? That the students in them, right? If you're going to a school that's kind of fallen down, right? You walk in, you think, cool. But then you might visit a school somewhere else, right? Whether it's on the south side or somewhere else in Missouri, and you think, well, why don't I have this, right? Do I not deserve this kind of thing? And that's the sort of impression that we can never afford to communicate to a kid, because all kids are important. And a kid's educational opportunity should not be affected by his or her zip code or his or her parents' tax bracket.
Everyone should get an equal...
That's exactly right. It's public school, right? It's not Northside Public Schools, Southside Public Schools, it's Springfield Public Schools. And we have not done, over the generations, we have not done as much as we should have to ensure equity in this community.
It was really nice talking to you.
Nice to talk to you, too.
Thank you so much.